Before we get into today's episode, a little announcement for you.
Ooh.
The Poorly Planned Podcast is now on Instagram and TikTok.
We're going atomic, baby.
Let's not open like that, actually. Let's start over. But yeah, if you want to follow on Instagram and TikTok, it is at
The Poorly Planned Podcast. Simple as that.
Check it out. There are shorts, maybe possibly on the Instagram, some pics occasionally.
Some pics, maybe a few story posts.
Who's to say?
It's going to be a good time.
It'll be great. Hit the follow. Appreciate it.
Ooh,
now
see
on
you
to
there.
the pod. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 224th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always, my friend, co-host, and first time recording this intro, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Frederick.
Yes, sir.
Feels good to do this first time.
Very first time and nonchalant this. No, there's quite a lot of stuff happening in the building today.
There's a bit of commotion going on.
A little bit of commotion. And so we started, and we didn't do Crash Out, but
No,
we simply had to redo it all.
Yeah, because I was thinking there have been moments in this pod where I've crashed out a bit unnecessarily. I'm trying to manage those moments. And so we hear some noises and some tables moving. We're like, okay, it's fine. Then I just hear someone's like JBL speaker start playing music. And I was like, okay, I think we have to say something. But yeah.
But it was a good show of self-restraint.
We have it on camera where I went like, okay, well, we have to fucking stop.
You leaped across the table, worked it.
But today we are coming at you with a bit of a topical pod.
God,
because
don't say it's so.
I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've heard this anywhere.
I haven't heard this before, especially not in another intro.
Invincible season 4. The final season, maybe?
Potentially. A show that you're very fond of.
Yeah, it's hitting your screens either this week or next week. A season I'm very excited for, as we'll talk about, because it will come up in this episode. Because this episode we are talking about the best superhero TV shows.
God. Perfect introduction.
Thank you.
First time.
I've practiced it.
But yeah, we didn't talk about this before either, but surprised we haven't done this before.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, no, it seems like it's up our alley. And we will perhaps do a worst superhero TV shows episode at some point in the future as well.
God, there's limitless content potential here.
Yeah, that's what I love. Content potential. But so, yeah, sorry, I'm lost in this document. Holy fuck, I've written so much
a lot of
bullshit.
pornographic links. You've got to.
Yeah. So yeah, because over the course of the history of the superhero genre, we've had the superhero movie renaissance of the 2010s.
Yes.
There's been some pretty peak moments in superhero TV.
I mean, I remember back when we were in school together, there was some fantastic moments that we would talk about quite a lot as well.
Yeah. Well, they were pretty mainstream back. I feel like nowadays it's kind of like the movies kind of falling off. But I remember, I remember, and we will not talk about this show in this episode, but I remember I talked to actual humans about what they thought of the latest Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode back in the day.
Yeah, well, we said best superhero shows, not goated of all time.
Not greatest pieces of media ever created.
Not just greatest.
The Phil Coulson fucking sideshow.
The Phil Coulson fucking sideshow. God,
one-man
that's something I would watch for sure.
Yeah.
One-man performance.
It's so fucking... I was trying to... I was thinking of like... Because I watched, the 5 seasons when they came out, and then I was like, okay, should I watch the last 2 for like a video or something? And I started watching the 6th season, I was like, holy fuck.
I ain't just... I feel like, can we... we've talked about how what was perceived as mid-MCU movies in the past, now looking back at them, they're kind of like, all right, actually pretty good. I feel like looking back at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now, has it gotten worse? Has it aged poorly? I don't know. It's one of those, I'm like, how the fuck did you get made?
Yeah. Talking about Coulson, the actor.
I'm gonna need a step-by-step guide here.
I think, well, it was, when I was watching it, I was like, there is like a weird charm to this because it's very, like, early, it feels very early 2010s, like ABC TV show. Like, it looks a little bit cheap and it's a bit corny, but it has like a weird charm in that way.
Again, it's all Coulson stuff.
I'm talking about his face.
It looks a little cheap.
Yeah. But, no, I guess we can go more into that in the worst one. Although I will say it has its merits early on. Yeah. But
enough about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know why we went on an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. rant early. Save that for, the peak of the episode.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just thought I have a list here of some favorites of mine.
Yeah.
You can, chip in whenever you want, I guess.
If you want to say something, I guess. I mean, I feel like in general, will have seen mostly the same stuff here.
Yeah, definitely. And I will just say off the top, because I feel like this will come up, some shows I have not seen. I'm not sure about you. I'm going to assume you haven't either.
Please.
But ones that would probably come up as ones people love.
Yeah.
The X-Men cartoon from the 90s.
My favorite.
We were not born pre-90s, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was before our time. I'm sorry, Unk.
To all the unks out there.
Legion, apparently really good. Didn't
Okay.
see it. X-Men Adjacent, I think it's like Professor X's fucking beta brother or something. I don't know.
I need to watch it. You sell it very well.
The rest of the Arrowverse, besides Flash and Arrow,
Who's okay?
I did not watch DC's
I hope we're not
Legend of
going to be
Tomorrow.
talking about the Arrowverse today.
We'll touch on. I do have just here. I'll spoil it. I've written here, the Flash in parentheses early.
Before shit took a terrible turn.
Smallville is beloved. Teen Titans, the animated show, is beloved. And there's a bunch of Spider-Man animated shows.
Yeah.
I think Spectacular Spider-Man is really beloved.
Okay.
I remember I watched a few episodes of, I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man back on like Disney XD back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've not really consumed much Spider-Man.
Well, is there a lot of different Spider-Man shows, or is it like one with like just many seasons?
No, I think there's quite a different variety. I think the one that I watched was vaguely MCU connected, because I hate to say this, I think Phil Coulson was actually in it.
Oh my god.
Voiced by real actor Clark Gregg.
Clark Gregg
You
and
have
Phil Coulson.
two first
the
names.
two whitest names I've ever heard of.
Clark Gregg.
Clark Gregg. That's a dude who sells cars.
Yeah. Let's get into the shows that we have seen.
Yes.
I'll go, I guess, semi-chronologically, not really, sort of. But I'll start off... Well, this one's kind of cheating because I technically haven't seen it.
Oh.
But
Okay.
I feel like I get it, and I feel like I would
Let's
love
start
it.
off with the shows we have watched.
Here's one that I literally have never seen an episode of.
Here's one I don't know the title of,
But
but I think Clark Gregg's in it.
Batman from the 60s. Batman 1966, because I love the movie,
Okay.
and I feel like the show would be incredibly fucking peak.
Of similar vibes.
I think so. I honestly think Batman 66 would make for an unbelievable Ben and Fred watch. I think
That
it would
actually
be
is a
very
humongous
good.
shout.
Have you? I mean, you're familiar. I assume.
I'm familiar with scenes.
Adam West,
Exactly. Yeah. There's that one where he's like in a helicopter above a shark or something like that.
the bat shark repellent. Him and Robin are like they're magnetized to a buoy in the middle of the ocean. And he's like, I have my anti-buoy machine or whatever.
Classic Batman activities.
It's because I rewatched it in college, and low key, I have to say, because I remember, I loved it as a kid unironically, and then later on you kind of love it ironically, and then when I was rewatching it, I think they were in on it. Like, it has like
Do you think so?
a wink in it. Like when he talks about the bat shark repellent, I think it's like meant to be silly.
Surely you couldn't talk about the bat buoy or whatever the fuck you said and not be
Bat
ironic.
buoy.
Not be
Deploy the
ironic.
bat buoy. Robin vomits it up.
Robin shits it out. The bat buoy. It's just Robin.
He flings him at the enemies. And like there's
cleaved in half.
There's fucking, the goofy ass Joker and the original Penguin.
That Joker design, I do enjoy.
He's great, although he has the painted over mustache, but that goes kind of hard. That's something an insane person would do.
Yeah.
There's the Riddler who's clearly on like so much fucking cocaine. It goes really hard. So I like that interpretation of the Batman world.
And you think it is very similar to the movie. It's just like the exact same vibe throughout.
All the clips I've seen have been, there's the one where Batman, I think him and Joker are running for mayor, and they
Of course they
decide who wins.
And then the bat buoy comes out.
Well, they decide who wins via, I believe, a surfing contest.
This looks so unbelievably tough.
This looks super fucking peak. So anyway, I just want to say I have a lot of love for the Adam West Batman show. Also, apparently, I don't know if this has been verified, but I think I saw somewhere, Adam West and Frank something, the guy who plays the coked out Riddler.
Yes.
Apparently, they would go to hella like 60s Hollywood orgies.
Oh.
And they would like go like in character as Batman and like make like bat puns or something while just like fucking the shit out of people or something.
There was surf contest.
There was something,
my God.
some quote about how they were like kicked out of an orgy because they wouldn't stop like making jokes.
Fully in Batman costume.
They wouldn't stop making,
God,
like,
imagine that
Riddler
you're
jokes.
at this like exclusive Hollywood orgy,
Eyes
and then
wide shut.
Adam West walks in full Batman with the bat buoy,
with the Riddler.
with the coked out Riddler. I mean, I'm sure most of them were coked out. But
I mean, almost certainly. Although the 60s, I feel like coke was more of an 80s thing. People have been doing coke for a while, I guess.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah.
When did Coke originate, I guess?
Sounds fun. So for the bat orgies, 10 out of 10
Exactly.
on the 66 show.
But do you actually think that obviously I think there's some nutty moments and stuff, but do you think it would be an enjoyable show to sit down and watch? Or do you think it's kind of like,
I wouldn't watch it by myself, but I think like with friends, again, a Benford watch type of situation.
It does sound
That'd be
fun.
pretty peak.
Yeah.
That would go hard.
Agreed.
That's like a once a month you sit down and get really drunk and watch like a Batman 66 episode.
Imagine that high watching. What the fuck?
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which though, or should we save?
Speaking of the Bat Buoy.
Speaking of Batman getting plowed at orgies, I guess. Move on to the Flash. No, I was going to talk about the Justice League show, but should we save that for later? Because I do feel like
that's more of a that's one of the main ones.
That's the peak, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do a little bit of Marvel Netflix actually. Fuck this chronological shit.
Yeah.
Let's just skip it.
Yeah. Are we going Daredevil?
I have. Yeah, tell me if I've been generous here, because under the Marvel Netflix banner as far as best, I put Daredevil, obviously all of it.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones season 1.
Okay.
I've put here Luke Cage. It's generous, but we'll talk about it.
I mean,
And Punisher.
And Punisher for sure.
Okay.
No Iron Fist?
Iron Fist has been reserved for the other version of this episode.
For the other goated episode. I don't know. Well, okay, we can talk about each show, but in terms of Luke Cage being on here, I don't hate it. Okay. I'm okay with it.
Because I was thinking when Luke Cage season 1 came out, it has problems with the Marvel Netflix shows that it's too long. But I remember I was like, you know what? I was pretty into that. Like, it was
like I think it's like the last few episodes it kind of falls off, but like until then, I thought it was very good.
I think there's like first 7 episodes. There's a part where he gets shot and then it falls off. But before that, him versus Mahersh. They have fucking Mahersh in there.
Mahersh was
doing
fantastic.
a madness.
Mahersh was doing a madness.
Everybody wants to be the king.
God, true.
That's a classic.
You like my Biggie poster?
You like my Biggie poster. That was iconic. And then season 2, honestly, like not. I think season 1 has more. When it's great, it's better. I think season 2 is more consistent. I like the Bushmaster.
The Bushmaster? You like when he dabs?
I like when he dabs, he teams up with Iron Fist, and it was like fun and not insufferable, which is impressive.
That's a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Considering Danny Rand. Honestly, Luke Cage season 2, pretty fun.
So you've turned this around and going, I don't know if I've been generous putting Luke Cage season 1 in here to now saying Luke Cage season 2 is one of the best superheroes.
And at the end, he becomes like a mob boss.
Does he? I haven't seen season 2.
I haven't seen season 2. Well, at the end, he wants to be the king.
He wants to be the Bushmaster.
He wants the Biggie poster. I was gonna say the Boogie poster is in like Boogie 2988, but
everybody wants that poster.
But and at the end, he's like, to save Harlem maybe or something, he's like, I have to sell drugs now. I don't know. He becomes some kind of criminal mastermind or something. I will save Harlem.
The one thing that Harlem needs is more crime from me now.
Yeah. I'll do more crime.
I'll sell drugs to save Harlem.
I'll distribute heroin around Harlem. Like the hero I am.
The one thing Harlem needs now, meth.
But yeah,
Luke Cage, the hero.
I have to say, Luke Cage goes pretty hard.
Okay, I mean, I enjoyed the first season. I haven't seen the second, but if it ends with him distributing, all sorts of crack cocaine to Harlem and dabbing, this sounds like peak cinema.
Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
also, do you remember when Pop got shot?
How could I forget?
That's an iconic scene. Pop death.
When Pop got popped, it was honestly that was. I remember we went to school the next day. Like, you see Pop?
It was like one of our fathers had been shot. Did you see that they got popped?
Did you see his past caught up to him?
Yeah. But the other shows, I feel like Luke Cage needed a bit of defending.
Yes.
But I feel like let's build to Daredevil actually. Jessica Jones season 1, very good, pretty great.
I think it builds on, again, we'll talk about it, but the success of Daredevil.
Yeah.
I think
so?
I don't know. I think given the vibe and everything like that, I think that if Jessica Jones just came out on its own as the first thing, it'd be okay. But I think the hype that was built from Daredevil also got more people into it.
Totally. I mean, I think the tone that these shows had, Luke Cage aside, which did get kind of goofy with the Bushmaster, the original tone of Daredevil, Jessica Jones season 1, very fucking dark. I mean, it's about her being like raped basically by Kilgrave. And you know she's an alcoholic and all this stuff. There's a lot of trauma in it, and there's a lot of violence. I remember Kilgrave, the villain, David Tennant. He like makes people like stab themselves with scissors and shit. We were 13 when that came out.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Who let us watch that shit? But yeah, just like, both Jessica Jones and also Kilgrave, great characters.
Yeah, fantastic. No, the villains, and again, they stayed peak, i.e. Bushmaster, but the villains early on were
the biggest Bushmaster defenders.
I really like the Bushmaster. But the villains early on, we had like Kingpin, Kilgrave, the performances from D'Onofrio and Tennant.
So good.
Fantastic, yeah. And Jessica Jones, because I think I have not seen season 3. I'm pretty sure. The fact that I am not sure is kind of an indictment. Season 2 was kind of whatever.
Okay.
But season 1, it was just, it was tense and like real feel. She felt like these, especially in the MCU at the time, which was like Age of Ultron, it was kind of, a bit goofy. These characters felt very real. Her and Matt Murdock and this kind of stuff. You got more time with them.
It's also the fact that it is this thing that it was set in the MCU, but was still so gritty, which is something that I at least really, really enjoyed. Whereas like all this, is in this fantastical Age of Ultron, MCU kind of thing. But you still got the Hell's Kitchen, super gritty, grounded characters, which create like a nice contrast. And I think also like being like, I still find it very cool, but at the time I was also like, oh my God, the fact that this is, that Iron Man is flying around, but then in the depths of Hell's Kitchen, all this shit's happening, I found very, very cool as well.
Yeah, I would say maybe it is cooler than, because like I like seeing Daredevil back and it's fun to see him pop up in Spider-Man and stuff. But is there something to maybe the MCU just has like distinct styles and tones where there was
sure.
like,
I think when it starts doing the crossover, as we've seen like in Spider-Man where Charlie Cox is there and in She-Hulk and stuff like that. Yes. And I know that She-Hulk's also a show, but like that's where it cheapens it a little bit, I think. Like it's still it's the thing of knowing that it is in the same universe, but that they've got their own separate story that I found so engaging.
Yeah. I don't know. I do feel like, I guess we'll talk about this with the...
I do feel like the Charlie Cox stuff was so peak though in Spider-Man.
In She-Hulk specifically, when he gets a baddie,
Yeah. When he plows some green, it's a...
When he plows some green. When he sows his oats. In some green butt. I don't know, sorry.
Sows his oats in some green butt. When he puts the Charlie Cox in the P-Hulk. Anyways.
P-Hulk. Whoa.
My bad.
Not on.
We got sidetracked.
Yeah, we got a little lost there. I was going to say, I do feel like the Netflix shows, they had like kind of an unfortunate, sad to watch downfall where like the Defenders, which was supposed to be, the Avengers of it all, was kind of a little bit underwhelming. But staying positive, I'd say Punisher.
Fantastic.
Pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
I think one of my few problems with it, I think, is that like it's a lot to be with such a dark character for an entire 13 episode run. Like comparing the first season of Punisher to Daredevil, where Daredevil's dark, but there's a little bit of hope and light.
There's hope and it's not only, as you say, not only violence because of the whole lawyer stuff as well.
In Punisher, there's a lot like of him just beating the fuck out of people and him being angry and screaming. And
so do you think that there's almost too much Punisher in Punisher, and do you like the Punisher a bit more in like Daredevil season 2? Do you like that level of Punisherness?
I have to say, I do think I prefer him as a side character in something. But that being said, I still really like the first season. We had fucking, what's his name?
God, who's on the pod? We need to remember.
I was thinking of Micro. But also,
your boy Micro.
Boy Micro. We have our goat, Michael Nathanson. Who made an appearance on the 1,000 sub celebration, maybe?
I watched that back the other day. I was like, no way we got Michael Nathanson to come on here.
I don't know why we did. I mean, I guess we mentioned him occasionally.
Stein was a fan favorite, I guess.
Well, I think he was more of our fan favorite. I don't know if we even talked about it that much on the pod. Because I feel like people, when we did that, were more confused than anything else. Who is this fucking jabroni you guys paid?
Is your older friend?
Because I think, wasn't there a thing that I was supposed to get, like, I was going to get a Tom Cruise impersonator, and then he was like, my rate is like fucking money or something.
It was like $2,000 for video or something like that.
Insane.
And I'll go for the next best thing, Michael Nathanson.
But yeah, he's in it. I can't remember her name, but the woman cop, she's pretty good.
And I think Billy Russo.
Great villain.
Fantastic
Prince
villain. Caspian. Another great villain in these Netflix shows.
Man, I know that final showdown between them where he rubs his face on the fucking glass. That shit was crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of like, I know there's newer Netflix shows, but like of the original kind of like 4 or 5 with, you know, Daredevil, Punisher, Defenders, stuff like that, Luke Cage. I think Punisher might be my second favorite of them all. I think it's, I don't know, I like it more than Jessica Jones. I don't know if that's crazy, but I think it's so good. And John Bernthal, fantastic.
Great choice. You know what? Because Jessica Jones season 1 I think is better, but if you compound the midness of season 2 and the questionableness of season 3,
that maybe happened.
I think Punisher season 1 and 2. You know what? Punisher season 2 was quite Luke Cage season 2 adjacent in that, like, I think it went kind of under the radar.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
I really liked it.
Pretty great. Yeah. Honestly, the season 2s, you know, we're not going to talk about Iron Fist in this episode. He does not get a spotlight.
He's
not
Fist
here. Season 2, from what I watched of it, which again I'm not even sure if I finished it. It was definitely better. But no, Punisher. Dark but good. Beats the fuck out of that guy at the end.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've seen like Punisher pulping someone ASMR, but it's just like a 10-hour loop of him just fucking
I think I have. It also gave us the no. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. That's
also
actually
kind of peak.
That is pretty great. And then of course the crown jewel of the Marvel Netflix, Daredevil. Honestly,
Master Charlie Cox.
Master Cox. We bow to you.
We bow to you, Mr. Cox.
I don't know. I don't know if it might be the best. I think
just the best superhero show. I think honestly,
because there's shows that do like, I think, you know, we'll talk about like the Penguin. That is kind of like a real show. Not that Daredevil isn't, but like, and then you have on the other side like the Justice League cartoon, which I love, but of course that's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like mixing the superhero elements and
being
like a real show and like the relative consistency.
So good.
It's fucking great.
It's so good. Amazing characters. Like I think Charlie Cox is perfectly cast in the role. And the side characters as well. Foggy Nelson,
our goat, Rip King. No, he got murked.
That's so. I completely forgot he got murked.
Yeah, he got fucking shot in like the first 5 minutes.
Dude,
that was rough.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, then Kingpin as well.
Yeah.
Do you think also one of the best just MCU villains, period?
Absolutely. I think him, Charlie Cox, and Vincent D'Onofrio are like 2 of the best MCU castings, period.
Agreed.
And by the way, when I say Daredevil, I'm talking the 3 seasons. I think
not
Born
Again.
Thing, which I don't think is awful, but I'm
it's not the best.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah. This is post She-Hulk clapping.
No.
Bro never was the same.
That'll change a man. Brothers
for the worse.
Yeah. I think if anything, with She-Hulk, he was the one being clapped.
Well, that's why he's been changed.
Yeah, that's true. That will change a man.
Beat the fuck up in the bedroom.
Bro is getting tossed around.
Bro is Charlie Stump now.
I can see the light in your eyes.
It's like, wait a minute.
But I think what really solidifies Daredevil for me, because like the first season, great, and great foundation for this, and great introduction to like the darker side of the MCU back when it was like Age of Ultron type of times. Season 2, it wasn't as good. I think it was like a little bit messy. It had a lot going on, but in hindsight, like still really fucking entertaining. Yeah. You had the Punisher stuff.
For sure.
Elektra stuff.
I will say, I think again, I haven't seen Born Again, but of the 3 first seasons, I think the Elektra stuff is by far the weakest.
Yeah.
I was not super into all of that. I also found her quite annoying as a character, so that definitely detracted a bit for me.
I do think I feel like I have this complaint with a lot of stuff. I would compare it to Pirates of the Caribbean, but where like I like a little bit of the supernatural stuff, but when they go too hard, like because season 2 gets more into like the Hand and the Ninja Clan.
Exactly. And again, like the Hand and stuff, okay, but then when they start talking about like resurrections and stuff like that, it's like
dragons and shit. Like remember that was the plot of Defenders? They were trying to get a dragon skeleton from under New York.
Yeah, exactly. Then like they blew up the entire thing, and Daredevil still somehow survives. And
I don't know about all that, but still season 2 is good. And then I think it really solidifies it. The fact that season 3, honestly, I think is the best season.
So good.
I was so surprised when I was like, I thought it would be good, but when it was like honestly, I think Daredevil season 3 is one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. Period. Like I would put it up there with like the best shows that I've seen. It's like
agreed.
Just for a 3rd season of a Marvel Netflix show, I'm like, why the fuck is this fucking
Where
good?
did Poindexter come out from?
No, I mean the villain, Poindexter and Kingpin's back. The arc that Daredevil goes on, that fucking guy Nadeem, when he gets shot, the cop or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, no, my goat, bro. I was
invested
in them. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and, like, and him and Foggy have like fun. It has like a happy ending too. Weirdly, like
and like that's
really wholesome.
That final sequence in the Kingpin penthouse, like the three-way fight.
That's
so
fucking
cool.
like again. I would put that on the level of like a Breaking Bad or something in terms of like scenes. Man, the action scenes are unbelievable when he's fighting Poindexter and like it's his ninja blind Daredevil versus like the exact aim.
No, exactly. It's also just the I think the like it builds up so nicely throughout the season.
Yeah.
To this like I think a lot of times in some superhero things, the build up to the fight can end a bit anticlimactically, but I think the build up was done so well in this season to them like having this eventual three-way, this like final meet where it's kind of everyone be everyone, and it just
and at the
beautiful.
end, I beat you, man.
I beat you. Exactly. He beats him his way.
Yeah, no, that shit is so. And I remember even just like little moments. I remember there's a moment when he reveals his identity to Nadeem, and it's like
he gets murked.
Nadeem fucking decks him. I remember there's a part where him and Foggy are beefing for a bit, and then they team back up, and then they turn to the camera, and it's like Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law. I was like,
the Foggy and Foggy Murdoch,
the bro dynamic,
so good.
Man, no, that's I want to rewatch it now. I'm talking myself into rewatch it.
Yeah,
just so fucking good. So no, I would say Daredevil, especially seasons 1 and 3.
Yeah,
peak
superhero show.
Let's go Cox.
Let's go for the Cox, please.
Quote us.
Bill us, please.
We move over to let's do a bit of DC stuff.
Ooh, okay. We go from peak to okay.
well, let's talk about the Flash.
Why? Okay, why is the Flash on here? This is best superhero shows. The Flash is a superhero show.
It is one of the shows of all time.
Exactly.
Have you ever watched The Flash?
I've seen a few episodes of The Flash, and I genuinely disliked it so much. Well, I didn't dislike it so much, but I just found it to be like that is the perfect equivalent of the DC's
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I would.
I would say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is better.
Yeah, there's no Coulson in The Flash. I think The Flash, I would agree to you in the way that, like, if you look back on The Flash, it is a very much a, like, cable TV show.
Yes.
Like, in that same sense where, the effects are not always going to be great, and there's, like, the sort of builds to commercial breaks, and it's, like, 22 episodes a season for some fucking reason, the way they used to do that.
I'm excited to see how you spin this into being one of the best shows.
But, okay, I'm not saying it's one of the best shows. And for the record, again, I've written here early, because I didn't even finish The Flash, I'm pretty sure. I stopped watching around
episode 3.
The first episode was really fucking peak. Like around season 4 or something where it got really bad. I've seen clips from like the later seasons. It's like how was this like broadcast?
But you say the first few seasons.
I think I would not put it anywhere on the same level as like a Daredevil.
Okay.
But also I don't think it's that kind of show. Like I feel like they're a little bit apples and oranges where like as a comic book goofy show that like I guess maybe I also have a bit of nostalgia for it, but it just felt, it was just fun. I think it was like for my age and
like
for like
an easy watch.
Yeah, for the time that it came out, for my standing in society at the time. No, but like where I was,
societal position.
I think it was fun and cheesy and like and a good version of that. Like if you're comparing it to fun cheesy like cable TV shows, it was not fucking. I don't know. I'm sure they've made some dog show. Later seasons of The Flash.
Yeah, the first season was not the later season.
But like, I think, I don't have like some grand. I'm sure you could pull up clips and be like, this is ass. But I think like the main guy, Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Especially again,
I will say he seems like a pretty good.
He's great.
He seems like a good Flash.
For this kind of show, I feel like they're all very well cast. Like his goofy side characters are good as the goofy side characters. I think the villain, I can't remember his fucking name, but he's like his mentor, and turns out he was the Reverse Flash the whole time.
Is the Reverse Flash the Flash's main villain in all Flash things?
No. Okay. Well, there's a bunch of bullshit villains. And I mean, yes, it always ends with the thing where it's like, but wait, Barry, you must run faster. And then
wait, Barry, you can run even faster than you previously ran. And then he like stops time or something.
He runs through time or something. Yeah, look,
I'm not runs through Coulson or something, I don't know.
Yeah, he runs through just multiple people, just innocent bystanders. I'm not like the world's biggest The Flash lover, but I think I can see why it is so popular, and I have fond memories attached. Okay. And in the same vein, I will just throw in Arrow. I've only seen the first season of Arrow, I'm pretty sure.
Is the Arrow darker than the Flash?
Yeah. Okay. But it's still, I don't know why, like I'm not saying quality-wise, but like it's like Suits Core or like Prison Break Core, just like that era of TV. You know what I mean? Dexter. Like again, when they had like 20 episodes a season, it was just like there's something, I don't know. I guess because we live in this monolithic streaming age.
No,
there's
that's
something
fair.
charming.
There is something charming about it. I can totally understand that. I think if I were to go back like a few years and sit down like just think now, I don't think I would want to sit down and watch it. But a few years ago, I can totally see like, you know what I'm gonna watch? I can put on The Arrow, or I can put on or The Flash. I guess it doesn't seem like one of those shows that anyone should have as their favorite show, but a good show.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate why they have so much love and happiness behind them.
And plus the millions that scream the Flash's name.
They did a bunch of like Avengers-esque fucking like insane crossovers where they brought together like 8 different shows or something. I don't know if you remember this. There was
is Supergirl in that same universe?
Supergirl showed up and then they had like, I don't know if they had Adam West come back, but they had like a bunch of like insane cameos.
Straight out the orgy.
Still wet.
Still coked out of his mind.
Let's see here. Look, this is another fraudulent one I'll just throw in there. Agent Carter. No, it's definitely not one of the best shows, but I have some fond memories, and I might have a celebrity crush on Haley Atwell. It is
That's
what it
fair.
is.
That's fair.
But those were good times.
Uh-huh.
Mid-show, though, I'll be honest. The show was kind of fucking buns. Actually, another show that is coming out soon with a final season. Da Boys.
Da Boys.
What do we think about The Boys?
I'm a very big fan of The Boys. I think that is up there for one of the better superhero shows of all time. I think lately it's like I think the first season fantastic. It was new, you know.
Yes.
Now it's been doing the same thing for a while, and other things have started doing it as well. It's still entertaining. I still like it, but at this point, it's also I think it has lost a bit of what made it really enjoyable, especially the first few seasons. You know, like that's more plot stuff, but I do enjoy it, and I'm very excited for the last season. Yeah,
I think the show has run its course.
Yeah.
And I think also like society has like caught up with it in a weird way.
I do think that people are just kind of they just know that's the Boys. It's like kind of like you wave your hand, it's like that's kind of what they do. And I think that's what it has become, where it's like you know exactly what to expect from it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it came out I think 2019, the first season.
Okay.
And
was it really 2019, not longer? Damn.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I think, you know, at that time, superheroes being rude and there being violence and stuff, it wasn't even that new. Like we'd had Deadpool and that kind of stuff, but it was newer.
It was newer. Yeah, Deadpool, because of the lighthearted tone, there isn't the same level of kind of like, I don't know, like visceral fear that I feel like is portrayed quite well in The Boys throughout. Don't you think?
Maybe early. I think, well, that's one thing I would say it's lost a bit. I think earlier on there is like a real tension when Homelander's there.
Yeah.
And then later on, I don't know if they've neutered him or if they've just made the show's circumstances where like there have been enough opportunities where he could like kill everyone and he hasn't. Like I feel like in the first one it was like, oh fuck, if he finds out where they are, they're like dead in an instant. Exactly. And now like I just remember in the last season there was a bit where Huey's like crawling in a vent and he's like
crawling in the vent
shooting
and then
around.
he like comes up like looks around.
There's some goofy ass shit where I'm this would not happen in season 1. And I think in season 1 it had more of that like kind of like underdog fun feel of like we're underground and we're just trying to, you know, scrappy group of characters.
Exactly. And it's because now they've got like the whole like they're like out as superhero, like anti-superhero people, so like, they've got this whole agency. It's just like
well, and then also the political. It's interesting because I've sort of had like multiple full circle moments on its like political satire, because I remember I made a video back in the day. It was like The Boys political satire done right or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that video.
I mean, banging thumbnail.
I mean, fantastic.
And I remember thinking like, oh, this is sort of funny and clever, but just in hindsight, or like at least with later seasons, it becomes so on the nose that it is a little obnoxious.
I think, yeah, it becomes, because again, like in the first few seasons, it is kind of like it's done right, as you say, but it's also, I think, it's made more obvious through the way it's done it, but also because of stuff that's actually happening in real life. Don't you think?
That's the thing, because then like now I'm almost like, well, maybe I guess it is kind of good. Because you know what? I kind of like that when you see something, you can be like, this feels like a bit from The Boys. Like it's like a good like cultural touchstone.
It's weird though, because I feel like when The Boys came out, like there's still a lot of like political satire to be done, for sure.
Yeah.
But that was also kind of like the charm behind that. They were kind of saying stuff that, you know, that people didn't maybe necessarily want to say like out loud. Whereas now it feels like they're kind of like beating a dead horse a little bit.
Well, we do. not to like make it all deep or whatever, but we do live in a post-satire world where like you cannot. Yeah, that's a whole topic for a different podcast probably. But
no, I think we're the right people to talk about this.
But like, yeah, you can't do like, you know, MAGA Trump parody that like hasn't been done.
No, exactly.
Or like that says anything, because like we all know now like what it is. Like it's honestly, barring this fantasy superhero stuff, it's more crazy in the real world, pretty much, than it is.
And that's also exactly, and that's
in the show.
That's both scary, but also that's also what I think takes away a little bit from the full enjoyment of the satire. And that's not really, I think, the show's fault necessarily. Yeah. But it's just of what's kind of the circumstances that have come about.
If they were doing this in like the George Bush era or something, they were doing like, haha, funny, look, it's like a George Bush-like character. But it's like, because of the world we live in, it's hard to do. And I also do think the bits that I find more egregious is like when it's just lazy. I remember specifically in the last season, there were multiple times where they just put the word soup into like a thing. There was someone said fucking critical soup theory. I was like, actually,
that's fantastic.
Fuck off. Like, that's so, like, come on. And at the end, I'm pretty sure the closing line is like, and we're going to make America super again. And it's like, come on now.
It is.
Like, it's just.
It gets very into its own.
Yeah. But besides that, I think characters are very iconic. I think in terms of like iconic stuff it's given to pop culture, I think Homelander is one of the most like recognizable characters. Lots of memes.
Fantastic villain.
And yeah, I mean, the performance is amazing.
Yeah.
Billy Butcher,
his iconic accent as well,
kind of incomprehensible. I think that was the funniest moment of the last season when the Deep is like, "Your accent's insane."
Okay, all right. Do you want to rewind it just like a tad, like the last minute?
I will also just on a funny note, and I'll speak quietly here, but because of the place that we do this pod, somehow there are sometimes people very adjacent to us. Yeah. Nothing against them, but there's some noises or whatever. But now it turns out you just went out and talked to them a little bit. There's like just a group of like 5 people sitting out there.
There's a live studio audience.
Genuinely just there's people in there just trying to do something and they just have to hear our pod. But also that's what you get for interrupting the sesh.
Don't ever interrupt the sesh again.
Anyway, the boys Billy Butcher, goated.
Fantastic.
I love me some Mother's Milk.
Not the character.
Anyway, the boys is good too.
Who do you think is your favorite The Boys character? Is it Mother's Milk?
It's definitely Mother's Milk. It's obviously Mother's Milk's like cuck new husband guy. Remember the guy?
Mother's Milk's cuck new. Oh, I see.
It's the guy who's a new guy who has big
the Mother's Milk cuck.
Has big cuck energy.
Heavy cuck energy. Who then also gets his spoilers alert. I believe the cuck guy gets his head blown apart, doesn't he?
Probably. Oh yeah, doesn't Homelander?
Yeah, I think he like claps him.
Very possible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of iconic scenes and moments, even just like, you know, in the dark humor of the show, which sometimes is pretty funny. And there's, again, also, this is what I feel like it's missing though. Like season 1, there were like legitimate kind of stakes and moments. Like the plane scene, super horrifying.
Terrible. And it in the first season especially, it showed us those I guess thoughts that you'd have like, what if superheroes were bad? And that's like something that has been explored before, but like the kind of like thing of just A-Train running through people. Like I feel like that's something that hasn't really been shown much before. Yeah. And so that was like a fun, or not fun, but like a cool thing to see now, you know, whereas now it does each season kind of feel like they have to up the ante a little bit.
Yeah, and
that's also not me complaining about the small guy in the penis scene, because that was fantastic. But
I mean, that was pretty goated.
That was kind of peak.
That's kind of scene of the year. I mean, no, yeah, I think that is like a little bit of the problem of it's like run its course, where there's only so much you can do, and also like you just inherently shock humor.
Yeah.
When you've done it for 4 seasons, it can't be that shocking.
Exactly.
And there's various things that are a little bit overdone. Like I think, you know, Billy Butcher doing a lean to the camera and saying a line is sort of, you know, that we've done that a bit.
Oi lads, let's get him.
Take a bump.
What did you say?
When he gets the penis guy and he shakes him in the bag of coke. He's like,
I thought you said take my bum. I was like, I don't remember that Billy Butcher quote.
Go on.
Take
my buns.
Go on, lads. Have a sniff.
But I think you would also appreciate his Jack Sparrow-ness.
Yeah.
He's vaguely Jack Sparrow coded, I feel like.
I think he has in a weird way, I do think that I was gonna say Bully Bitcher. No,
Bully Bitcher.
Billy Butcher becomes almost a bit too cartoonish and animated towards the end, and it's also a complaint I've got with The Boys. Again, this is best superhero shows. It's generally very good, but I think like they are just doing the same thing over and over again. It's like they get angry at Butcher, then he leaves for a bit, then he comes back. They're like, "Oh, we're never going to trust you again." They trust him again, and then they take a bump of his butt or something like that. Whatever Frenchie's doing these days,
as anyone would want to.
That's actually, what makes it spongy.
Talking about the butcher cheeks.
The butcher cheeks.
Sorry, for audio listeners, I was smacking that shit. I'd like to make it clear.
I'd like it to be known that I was smacking that shit.
But yeah, and I mean, I think the interpersonal drama of like, do we trust Butcher, etc., is a little played out. Yeah, and like I don't know, there's Simon Pegg's there. He's the dad.
Oh, I completely forgot he's there.
And he goes nutty the last season. He gets like superpowers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give him superpowers and then he dies or something.
He dies? I don't remember anything from the last season.
He's dying and they give him superpowers, then he, hijinks ensue, and then they're like, let's undo that, and then he dies.
Oh, no, yeah, because he starts like, he teleports and then he like teleports into someone or something like that?
Yeah,
classic Simon Pegg activities.
Yeah. The Boys, though, in general, I think seasons 1 and 3 were really great. Soldier Boy was a great character.
Soldier Boy, probably my favorite character in The Boys.
Hilarious.
He is returning for the last season.
Yes.
Which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like the Boys used to be a thing of, I was very hyped for season 2. I was hyped for season 3. Season 4 is happening. At this point, I was like, season 5 is happening. I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah. No, I'm like, okay, it's the last season. I'm happy it's the last one. It feels like they'll go all in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we done with The Boys.
Yeah.
Besides, of course, Frenchie,
yeah. And of course, Mother's Milk's cock. It's a
Mother's Milk's cock. Like he carries him around on like a leash or something. Mother Milk's pay pig? I don't know, sorry. Anyway.
Pay pig.
Not that I know what that is.
I've never heard that before.
You haven't?
No? What's a pay pig?
That's a great subgenre of internet content.
The live studio audience applauds.
Genuine
the pay pigs.
Genuine, just 5 NPCs on the other side of this shit. Just listen to me talk about how a pay pig is
a pig is a fantastic.
Well, it's like it's some kind of like dominatrix thing where like a guy like pays a woman and then she like steps on him or something.
And so he's the pig?
He's the pig.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're implying that Mother's Milk's cuck pays Mother's Milk to like step on his balls and stuff.
Yes, I think that's more than implied in the show. I think if you read between the lines, that's what's going on. That's what
The Boys are really about.
That's what
the Boys refer to that guy's gonads.
We move on.
Yes, please.
A show that I think will be a little contentious because I have lots of praise, but I remember you calling it a little bit...
Little doo-doo garbo ass.
Doo-doo fart butt.
Podcast.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we're potting here. So you call this a bit doo-doo fart butt.
Right after hearing what a pig is.
Invincible. Now, I do think, to be fair, you have not the perfect view because I think... Well, actually, no, you thought in season 1 was mid.
Well, okay. The thing is, I haven't seen all of it. I've only seen like half of the first season.
Okay.
And there are scenes from it that and I think I will recognize. I think I am very much in the minority here. I think that's totally valid as well. It's just one of those shows that I've seen very, very cool scenes from. I've also had it a bit spoiled for myself. And I think I want to get to those cool scenes, but it's stuff that in between that I just wasn't really super engaged with. And I know it's like I don't really have a good reason for it either. And I think if I actually put myself into the situation, sat down and watched it, I would have a good time with it. I just have not really gotten on board the Invincible train.
I suppose. Oh, great pun because of the train at the end of the season 1.
God, yeah, I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, puts him in the.
Oh my God, yeah.
Puts him to the train.
That's
I mean, fair enough. I mean, well, you didn't really make any argument against it, but no, I understand that
it's just one of those like I was a little thrown off in the beginning when it came out the first season. I don't remember why.
Well, the animation is rough at times. It is, and I mean this is an ongoing joke in the Invincible community, but it is like Loki,
which I'm a very prominent member.
Which I am I'm the moderator of the subreddit. But it is sometimes occasionally like PNG like flash animation, like someone dragging a thing across the screen. But I think the show's fun like plot lines, the show's characters, and when they do the action scenes, they usually have, pretty peak animation.
Yeah.
I think that makes up for it. But it's a valid criticism. And there was a scene in one of the last seasons where they did like some kind of inside joke talking about, like, he's talking to an animator and he's like, is it hard to animate shows? And he's like, oh yeah, it takes really, like, they tried to do sort of a bit of like,
so like a clever thing, like, oh, it's so difficult. That's why I make you a PNG sometimes.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, your show kind of looks like shit. Like, you can't really do the joke of like animation's like really crazy. And it's like, well, but your show is like a Flash animation.
But your show is doo-doo ass.
But I
think, yeah, maybe that is, I haven't thought about it that way, but I guess maybe that is something that is kind of like turning me off a little bit. The fact that it is kind of like the Justice League, kind of like Unlimited. I honestly argue that the Justice League Unlimited stuff looked better than...
Oh, yeah, definitely. But to be honest, though, that's part of what I sort of liked initially, that it reminded me a bit of an early, superhero cartoon.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like that adds to the subversion aspect of it. I love the characters. I love Mark Grayson, Invincible. I think he's like one of my... Loki, I feel like him and Carmy from The Bear... I don't know why, but both favorite characters.
Just like me.
A little bit like literally me type characters. I don't know.
The Invincible guy. Super handsome and super powerful. Just literally me.
Literally me. And then also that like suicidal chef from The Bear.
Merge those two. You got BHL too. Please subscribe.
No, I don't know. I just find him to be a very relatable character. And I guess I'm very invested in him. Like in the last season, which is fucking amazing. Okay. I was like, I really like cared what was happening. I was like emotionally, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, especially now that I've become like a pretentious douchebag or whatever, like I'm not always that.
Not yet.
That happened a few years ago.
I was just saying now to the now, not the pretentious douchebaggery.
But like I feel like there's just I watch a lot of stuff like kind of with a critical mind of like characters or the plot is this 3.5 stars, whatever, and like. Mark Grayson's a character I'm like, I actually care about what happens to him like in the story.
You're watching it out of kind of pure enjoyment and just like being into it. Yeah.
It's just, and I think the stuff with, his dad, Omni-Man, I think that's a great storyline. And the way it culminates at the end of season 1 with this final battle, train stuff, it's incredible.
Is Omni-Man continuously in the show for all the other seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think then season 2 was weak. It was, I can't even remember what I didn't like about it much. It just felt sort of like, I don't even know. I don't want to say it was either like pointless or it had too much going on.
Okay.
There was some like balance of it where I was like, I don't know. It kind of felt like going over old ground. It felt like kind of nothing happened. I was quite underwhelmed with season 2. Okay. And I wasn't even that like excited for season 3. And then season 3 came out. It was fucking brilliant.
It was great. And was great. And then season 4, is that the best season?
Well, season 4 is coming out now.
Oh, season 4 is the one that's coming out.
So this one coming out. I see. Yeah, season 3. The action was amazing. They found a way, at the end of every season, or throughout, even though he's called Invincible, he keeps getting the shit beat out of him. And sort of like, how are they going to find ways to like have the shit beat out of him more? Yeah. But at the end of season 3, they sure do. Like he
gets his shit fucked.
It gets fucked up. But it's so good. And you get Jeffrey Dean Morgan comes in to play the bad guy at the end. This like I can't. He's like, it's not called Colossus. He's called something like that. He's this fucking massive guy who he fights. Yeah. It's just. It's great. I love the comic book world of it all. Like there's aliens and fucking monsters and robots and all this shit.
Now, again, it's one of those shows that I fully recognize is probably really good. So I have no qualms with it being on the list, and I have no qualms with anyone really liking it. And I do want to get into it because you also talk about it and you sell it well.
It is very good and it's fun. And I would recommend.
Okay, for sure.
Speaking of fun shows, we can do a little. Peacemaker.
Ooh, honestly.
Chills.
Goosebumps. That's for sure in the top 3 superhero shows for me. I really enjoy Peacemaker.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go top 3, but I can see it. I feel like it is an extremely us and extremely you specifically coded show.
Thank you.
I would say. And it's like you remind me of intelligence.
You're very eagerly.
Peacemaker. You remind me sort of in your morals of like Peacemaker's dad, I would say. No. But
I get that a lot. Worryingly so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think John Cena, fantastic. And it's just like so charismatic, buff. Just it fits this character that was done in Suicide Squad very, very well. Action's good. I think the humor is great. It's one of those shows that makes me laugh out loud kind of Which like, you know, I can sit and chuckle at many a thing, but Peacemaker really gets to me quite a lot of the times, which is really good. I still think the storyline's quite good. You connect with some of the characters as well. I think Peacemaker's a pretty, like, you sympathize with him quite a bit. I think and the side characters are fun. It just works. And I think both seasons quite good. I think the first season's probably a bit better.
Yeah.
But I was not disappointed by season 2 necessarily.
No, I feel like because I wasn't crazy about the last episode, it left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth where I'm like, Peacemaker.
Okay.
But the first 7 episodes were quite fun.
I thought they were really fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't really mind the last episode. Like, it wasn't fantastic, but I still enjoyed.
I think it is like very, I'm not going to say peak James Gunn, but it's like an extremely James Gunn type of, you know, the humor, the goofy, weird comic characters. And I think he knows how to do that well. And it feels, I know Guardians is like his main thing, but it kind of feels like the thing he's almost like the most passionate about.
I get that. And it just feels like the fact that you don't need an R rating to be able to, you know, be more fun necessarily. But I feel like when James Gunn's given the R rating, he can just kind of go, he goes full nutty mode on it. And I think full nutty
mode on it. Also with this gesture. He just like nuts all over it. You know what I mean?
Came all over the show. No, but it does feel like a passion project, and you can tell that they had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah.
No, that's something that I think comes through the screen as well, much like James Gunn.
No, I totally agree. You can feel the chemistry with the cast and just the James Gunn sensibilities. And that's a really good point about the R rating, that like, yeah, it's basically, because he's done R-rated stuff before that's like he did that fucking movie with Rainn Wilson, Super, which is like some weird like dark comedy deconstruction of a superhero movie. He's like a superhero who like hits people with a wrench or something. It's like, but I feel like
what is this fever dream?
But I feel like Peacemaker is like the comic bookness of Guardians and Superman with the ability to do like dark, violent type of shit. And crass jokes and that kind of stuff. So,
I think it has like some specific scenes, some of the writing as well. It's like quite self-aware in a way that's just fun. Like there's this one scene that I always kind of like, whenever I think about it, I laugh. It's like when Peacemaker's going to collect his dad's helmets or something like that. He's at his dad's house, and then his dad's neighbor comes up, and they have this debate about why Batman's a jackass and stuff like that. Very funny. I feel like that kind of humor throughout the show is present and is just, it's so fun.
Yeah. No, very, very good show. Shout out James Pistol, as we used to call him.
God, James Pistol. James A.K. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
James Pistol's better.
I actually don't know if you've seen The Penguin.
I've seen 4 episodes.
Colin Farrell's fat suit.
I wore it, and it was very nice.
It smelled good.
Felt that nice gooey.
He must sweat in that so much.
I know. Oh yeah, he
That's
does.
why I stole it.
I watched it for 4 or 5 episodes, and I did enjoy it. Then the subscription service that I watched it on ran out, and then I didn't really bother going back. So
I'm sorry to expose you as a bum ass, but that's a rough one.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, fair enough. I mean, I think it's only like 8 episodes, so you probably saw most of it.
I saw most of it. I saw up until, again, spoilers, up until they crash into the female villains. Like that she kills the whole family, and then like they kind of like team up.
Yeah, that's like the second to last episode or something.
Yeah, so I'm pretty far into it.
Okay, I think I don't know. The Penguin, it is a show where I'm like, I was impressed watching it, and I think it is quality TV.
Yeah,
like it's like a real show. It's not like The Flash or some, you know.
No, it feels almost, this is a weird complaint, almost too much of a real show, I think. Well,
I do think, maybe, hear me out here. Ooh. I do think like might be one of those cases where if this was a possibly, it's way better than Joker, but if this was not linked to like a superhero thing, and if it was just a show about a mobster, you'd be like, oh, that was a good show. That was a good show that came out. And because it's like a DC show that's like actually, you know, not fucking Batman 66 or whatever, it's like, holy fuck, this is the best thing ever. I think it was very good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, I honestly low-key forgot about it until I was putting together this list.
It is quite, I think, it's a bit long at points, I think.
Yeah. There's nothing, there's nothing like bad
about it. You can't really pinpoint anything bad. It's just, I think it's a little drawn out, and I think that it's just not the most I don't know, like
that's I guess the best way to put it is like if it was just a random mob show,
yeah.
I would not have watched it, and if I did, I'd be like, oh, that was pretty good. But like I don't think it's like people are like, oh, this is like Sopranos, but in the DC world, and like thematically, but in terms of quality, like no, it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Sopranos, it's not Goodfellas.
I like Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But everything that happens, again, I think he is just it's a good show, but I think he is a better side character than he is a main character. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. I put it on here with like the intent of being like, because I remember right after I watched it, I was like, man, that was so peak, that was great. And I don't know, it has just sort of faded for me.
Yeah, and it's again, like I think it's fair enough to put it up there as one of the best superhero shows, but thinking about it, I'm just like, yeah, it's a show. It's good. Colin Farrell's great. The actions is pretty good as well, but it's not. I would never want to like rewatch it fully.
Yeah, and I suppose also because I've seen, and not just like me, but like everyone has seen like so many mob things and like gangster, Scorsese and Sopranos and Godfather and all this stuff that like it does. You feel I don't really care about these people with Italian names shooting each other and my cousin and my brother and my this and my that and like it has great moments, but
for sure
I think very good.
Totally fine. Not the best, I don't think.
We have sort of two final categories here.
Ooh.
I think we start with Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Please. Are there any that rank among the best superhero shows?
I have two here and then like two halves where I'm like, I don't know if I can slide them in here. I did mention Agent Carter, so I feel like I'd be remiss if I
if you
excluded some others.
If I excluded She-Hulk.
I actually kind of like She-Hulk, but it's not on that list.
It's not for this video.
No, it's not.
We can make a third video saying most mid.
Yeah, honestly, there were a lot that fell into that category. I would say the ones that definitively belong here on this list, WandaVision and Wonder Man.
I've been watching some Wonder Man.
I finished Wonder Man the other day.
It's so good.
Pretty great.
It's pretty great. And it's yeah. Do you want to talk Wonder Man first, or do you want to talk WandaVision, or?
Yeah, actually, let's talk, because I was going to save Wonder Man for like the end of month up-to-date thing.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck it, we can just review Wonder Man now.
Okay.
Actually, no, wait, you haven't finished it. Okay, we'll save the main discussion for
that.
that.
We'll talk a little bit of Wonder Man here.
Yeah, I Wonder Man, I think it's great. Again, I don't think it's like revolutionary or like anything that's like too crazy. But it's also, I think part of the charm is that it's not that. It's like just sort of fun.
It's a nice, down-to-earth, fun. It doesn't feel like a superhero show, really.
No, well, barely. I mean, not to spoil it, but like it really isn't. Like
no, and it's one of those that it feels like a show made for us. Multiple things. There's the Josh Gad episode. Oh my God. You told me about it when we podded last. It's like there's a
pod cameo.
There's a pod cameo. There's an episode that you'll enjoy. I was not prepared for what came up.
When he emerges from that limousine.
Yo, J-Gad!
He does a little like...
when he disappears inside of... Was it Doorman?
When he slow-mo runs...
Like, no fucking way.
It was
when he puked up Josh Gad. Actually insane.
It was so... Also, yeah, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but I'm just realizing that there's no resolution to that. They don't get Josh Gad back.
No, Josh Gad's dead.
That's the
they only just make it harder for Wonder Man, or what's his? Simon to get into the movie business, I guess. That's what, like that whole thing. But
no, yeah. There's if you haven't seen Wonder Man, there's like a sort of standalone episode that's like a backstory to why superheroes are not hired in Hollywood. Yeah. And Josh Gad makes a significant appearance.
And he's the reason why they're not hired back.
Because he got swallowed by
Doorman.
And has
I really liked that episode. I thought it was great. It was done very, very well. And also, apart from J-Gad, just the appearance of Trevor Slattery.
Trevor Slattery. Because we've been memeing about Trevor Slattery.
We were on the Trevor Slattery train since day one.
Back in the day, yeah. God. When he showed up in Shang-Chi, I remember it was like a really funny thing.
Exactly, we loved it.
And man, this isn't a spoiler, but it's just a moment where when I saw it, I thought of you. I have to tell you, I'm sorry.
Please.
Without no context or whatever. Okay. But it's just because we've done this. Yeah, I'm sure on the pod we've done this. Okay. This bit because we've done Mandarin impressions where he goes, "You'll never see me coming." And
You'll never see me coming.
There's a part in the show where he goes, "And you never saw me coming." I was like, "Oh, you did the thing!
You did the Mandarin thing!"
Again, it's like That's the thing for us. No one else remembers.
No one
he said
remembers
this,
the Mandarin. You'll never see me coming.
So good. And he's very funny. I also think it's just really cool that, like, because you see prestige actors in Marvel shows and stuff, especially now, and it's like kind of embarrassing. It's like, people say Marvel is like jury duty for Hollywood.
Yeah.
And like, he feels like he's totally into it. He's passionate.
Yeah, he loves it. You can tell he has a lot of fun with the character as well.
Yeah.
And like, I think the chemistry they've got, like Simon and him,
Great buddy dynamic.
humongous bromance.
Yeah.
And just the Trevor Slattery character is just, I find so delightful.
Yeah. And I think Simon is very Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Great performance.
And great name, goddamn.
Great name. Almost as good as that time when him and Mackie were getting it on in Black Mirror as video game characters.
That's the only other thing I've seen him in.
He was also an Aquaman. He was the Black Manta. He had a very
Oh, he was Black Manta.
unremarkable role, but yeah.
Is that the second Blanta, could you say?
Man, Blanta. That's
another
throwback.
Blanta from the past.
That genuinely took me like 3 good seconds to remember, like, where was Blanta from? 'Cause I
Oh,
was
yes,
thinking-
it's
I
Tyrese.
was thinking Dwayne, but I was like, no, that was Dwanta. It was Tyrese who was Blanta. But no, I think Wonder Man, we can talk more in depth.
Yes,
Very
but
good.
I really enjoyed it. I'm happy you've put me onto it because
Yes.
it's very, very nutty.
Classic. And then I know you're not big, especially because of your random Wanda Maximoff hate.
It's not random.
But
and while she may
WandaVision-
be a Wanda Maximoff, she's just not a Wanda Maximoff villain.
but in WandaVision, she's not a villain. Well, she is,
Well,
but
she is a
she's
little bit.
But
I don't know.
It's less, than Doctor Strange too.
Yeah,
I think WandaVision was pretty great.
I think it was good.
I mean, it becomes a Marvel thing at the end, and it's less interesting. But those first 3-4 episodes when they're doing the TV shows,
I fully agree.
super fun.
I think the first 3-4 episodes when there's also that there's kind of like uncanny valley, like something's you
Yeah.
feel like something's off.
Yeah.
And like there's that one scene where she like goes outside and someone's like in the rain. I love it. I think that's actually a really, really those 3-4 episodes, great.
Yeah.
But then the second half, I think, like when it turns into Vision versus Vision,
yeah, well, yeah, it becomes
it's mid.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it is carried by, like, I remember at the end of the second episode, she goes outside and there's like a beekeeper there, and it's like, what the
that's what
fuck's
I'm
going
talking
on?
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then she's like, no, and then like she flicks around and like it all reverses some shit. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was really, again, for a Marvel thing, creative and cool and,
for sure.
unsettling. And then it becomes sort of when Agatha is the villain.
I think Agatha is also just kind of like
Ralph Boner. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember Ralph?
Who's
where
Ralph
it's
Boner?
Quicksilver shows up and he's the guy from the X-Men movies.
Oh, yes.
And then he's like, I'm not Quicksilver, I'm Ralph Boner.
All right, Quicksilver.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rough one. But overall, I like what they did with WandaVision. It was a cool idea.
But I feel like the coolness of it was then kind of like completely forgotten in the second half.
Yeah.
But, and the way it was sold, very cool. And the way it was done the first few episodes, very cool. So I agree with you on that. But I think that the second half like took so much away from the show for me, maybe more so than it did for you. But like I was like, after this it was a disappointing way to end.
Fair enough. I have here then, I mean, honestly, you said it kind of jokingly, but if we are going to do a third episode of most mid superhero shows, maybe I'll save Moon Knight for that, because I threw Moon Knight in here.
Okay,
Was that good, or was that...
I think Moon Knight is. That's not the best.
No, okay, we save that maybe for, let's do it, because there were a lot of mids.
There's a lot of
there.
mids.
Yeah, that's where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. belongs, that's where Agent Carter belongs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. We will do
know,
most mid superhero
I
TV.
think I will just a little potential spoiler here. I think that Moon Knight will be the top of the mid.
Ooh, interesting.
But again, we'll see.
Yeah, well, because it almost snuck into the best, but
Exactly.
not quite. Get out of here. I'm deleting it from the doc.
But the fact that we've talked about Arrow and The Flash, Moon Knight's better than both of those.
Ooh, that's a good. You know what? We'll debate it in the mid,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
battle of mid, as it were. The last Disney Plus one I have here, which again is sort of like a little bit of a question mark, but I think it's better than Moon Knight. Loki.
Okay.
Because I think a bit like WandaVision, when Loki started,
Yeah.
really fun. The premise and this TVA weird time dimension, vaguely like 60s vibe,
Yeah.
sci-fi. And then my main problem with Loki is the fucking ending with Jonathan Majors, where Majors stuff aside,
all the weird shit with him aside,
just his
weird
performance.
character.
I just hate. Yeah, I don't want to kick this dead horse or whatever, but I hated that performance and that scene and his weird Jim Carrey thing.
It was very. Speaking of Jim Carrey,
Next
pod.
They got him. No, I don't know. I don't think he's a clone, by the way.
Okay, makes one of us.
I don't know. I've seen some fuck it. Well, no, but this actually. Maybe we should do it next one, which will actually come out before that. That'll be more
We'll
topical.
save the Jim Carrey. Well, you'll see what we talked about last episode about Jim Carrey.
I don't think he's a clone.
We'll get into it.
Probably. But yeah, Loki. And then, I just didn't like the ending. And there was some of it that I just thought was like kind of whatever. And then I started watching season 2 when it came out. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then I started rewatching it again recently. And it's pretty good. I don't think it's like... People talk about Loki as, like a Daredevil-esque thing, like the best superhero show. I'm like, I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that at all.
But as these Disney Plus shows go, it definitely has way more, like, creativity and, if I end up watching fucking, like, Secret Invasion to make some kind of video, whatever, like, I'm sure that will be a miserable experience.
Yeah. So looking back on Loki, like, okay, that's good.
Now,
do you think Loki's largely carried by Hiddleston? Or do you think that everything around it is good?
I mean, I like Hiddleston. I like Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I like their buddy dynamic. I like whoever plays female Loki.
Yeah, true.
And I think like, I don't know, it's just like the world of it is fun, but then it does do that, early 2020s like phase 4 Marvel thing where it's like it gets too in the weeds of this like
it does get very
multiverse. Because I remember I've watched all the original, like the first few shows with my mom. And I remember like, we liked WandaVision, we liked Falcon and Winter Soldier all right. And then Loki, and she was just kind of like, I don't get what's going on here.
I don't.
And she's like caught up on the Marvel stuff and she's kind of like, what? Is it a different dimension? Is this time travel? And
it does,
like,
that was the time that they introduced the multiverse, or what?
Yeah, but it was just like a little bit. I don't know. They just get a little bit technical with it, where I'm like, I don't know. But there's stuff in season 2. I like the weird like whimsy of the world. Ki-Hoi Kwan's in it.
I haven't seen the second season. Is that compared to the first season better or worse?
I would say so far it's a little bit less interesting than Loki was to start, but it's like maybe more consistent because I haven't finished it yet. And I've seen, I know how it ends, and I've seen like some of the visuals are pretty great. He becomes a tree. Spoilers.
That's fantastic.
He does become a tree. That's pretty sick. I like Loki.
Yeah, you've not really sold me on this second season. Loki becomes a tree.
But you gotta watch it because he's in the new Avengers, and he'll be a tree probably. God, so you'll be real confused when Tree Loki shows up.
Tree Loki.
He defeats Doctor Doom easily. Loki tree. I tried to do a Jim Halpert style look to camera, and I turn over and it stopped recording.
It's good that it stopped because I was gonna say Loki tree per fade.
Okay. Well,
so welcome back to that.
I think we should delete this entire episode. Anyway, we move on. Oh god. Sorry.
Lordy.
To the final category / show. Because I want to give a shout out to the DC animated universe in general.
Fair.
Because the thing is though, I just haven't seen Batman the animated series. I've seen like 10 episodes, but I haven't like gotten into it. I've seen a little bit of Batman Beyond, and both of them look super peak. I love the world and the animation style, and I think it's cool that they did basically like the MCU back in the day with this show, where like they have like a Superman show and a Batman show.
Yeah, and then they've got the Justice League stuff. Yeah, sure.
For us, Justice League,
man,
and Unlimited,
that was the childhood. Childhood right
Loki,
there.
Greatest fucking. I've showed us many times. I have that photo of me as a little kid painting the Justice League at like 4 years old or something.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah. Now I have my arc with it where like I watched it like literally as an infant, and then I remember when I was like 10, when I discovered like YouTube. They were just all, I guess YouTube's copyright thing was not the same back then. It just had all the episodes on YouTube, so I rewatched it, and then I've just ever since then I'm like, I fucking love it.
No, it's so good. I think it was one of the first shows when I started learning English. Because like obviously I'd seen.
Gotta go far back for that's some crazy Freddie lore. I can't even imagine you not speaking English.
I know. I think I was 9 or something like that when I first started watching it, right? And it was like obviously I'd seen English movies and stuff before, but like the understanding wasn't really there. This is one of the first shows I remember sitting down after like the kind of like hard lessons of English and stuff like that, and watching this and actually understanding it, and then just enjoying it at the same time. It was like so good. So it's I don't know. Like I think I'm maybe picking it up a little bit, or like making it sound like it's got a special part in my heart. Like, but it was definitely, it was one of the first shows that I sat and watched, and understood fully. And then I think that also got me into like the kind of like liking the superhero stuff. So that's some Freddie lore I didn't even know. That's crazy.
Well, there you go. That's really cool.
It's, and aside from our personal things, I think this show, like anyone could go in and watch it, just like, it's kind of peak.
It's fucking great, man. Yeah. I still like, and I make fun of people sometimes for like, oh, you watch a thing for babies, whatever. But like, I still watch the show like
so good
on quite occasion, like on quite a many occasions. I think it's like, yeah, it's just like in terms of comic book superhero storytelling that obviously is, it's meant for children, but that's not, it's not fucking Paw Patrol. Like it's like
No, it's
accessible for.
I think it is accessible. I mean, saying it's for kids. I mean, I think kids can watch it, like obviously, but like I think it's something that can be enjoyed by everyone, and I think it's not that they're at all similar, but I feel like it's got a similar thing of like something like Shrek. I feel like can be enjoyed by adults and kids alike.
Yeah, no.
And this is maybe a bit more kid-coded, but I feel like it's so accessible as well, and because it's done so well.
Totally. I mean, I remember when I was rewatching it when I was like 10, and because I don't, only seen like episodes as they came on TV. I just liked like The Flash or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I was rewatching it, and in Justice League Unlimited, they, earlier they do episodic like kind of villain of the week type thing. In the second season of Justice League Unlimited, they do like an overarching story. Loki, I feel like when I was watching that was the first time I'd ever seen a show with an overarching story.
Yeah,
where I was
you're like,
holy fuck,
my
wait,
God.
Like, it was
it's the same dude.
Had no object permanence before that. But like, I just remember there's this whole arc with Cadmus, which is like their, shady government thing, and like Brainiac. And I remember there's the big reveal at the end is that like Lex Luthor has been housing Brainiac inside him the whole time, and he like grows tentacles and all. And I was like, I could not fathom what the fuck I was seeing.
Crazy. But it's also the world just feels so big as well, right? It is really like a cinematic kind of universe, and it's something like it feels like you're sitting there watching each episode and you don't know what's going to come a lot of the time, apart from when they're doing the Brainiac saga.
Yeah, no, totally. I think it's like that's a really good point. It feels like a lived-in world, which I think is, especially for like a cartoon, is really, really impressive. I love the portrayals of all the characters. These are my favorite versions of Batman, Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman.
All great.
There aren't many other Martian Manhunter portrayals to like, but this is also great.
But I
Hawk
guess
Girl.
I'll tolerate this one.
Yeah. No, I fucking love Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. It's funny. And
Villains are great.
Villains are great. The animation's good. I think it gets better, like, it becomes like, for a show like this, more mature in the Unlimited era with like those kind of stories. And I don't know. And man, the end of the Justice League show, the first run, the Star-Crossed episode where the Hawk people come to Earth, as a kid, I could literally, and I did, recite the entire movie because I watched it so many times.
Well, that's such a great ending to that like first bit of the show as well.
Genuinely, like I know like on Letterboxd you rate stuff like 5 stars because you have nostalgia for it or whatever.
Give me 7.
Genuinely, that is like unironically a 5-star.
Yeah.
Like as an end to this show, the emotions and the action, man, so fucking peak. So yeah,
so good.
Justice League.
And how many episodes of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited are there?
I think there's 157 maybe.
See, stuff like that. Like, some shows can get way too many episodes. For this, I love it. I love that there's so much because, as you said before, like it feels like it's a lived-in world. Like I think the only other show I've had that with is like Naruto, and there's like 700 some episodes there. But like, it's just the fact that there's so much going on, but it's still digestible by each episode. I love it.
Yeah, 91 episodes, but yeah, 91. I totally agree. And there's I was thinking of making a video maybe of like ranking worst to best. There isn't really like an episode I don't like. Yeah. Like I would have been in college. I was hanging out with my friend Lucas, and I was like, okay, let me show you an episode of Justice League because he showed me episodes of shows he likes and he liked as a kid. And I put on an episode where Green Lantern and the Flash fight Gorilla Grodd. And I was like,
of all the episodes, like the showcase episode, I don't know if that's the one I would go for.
This is not the episode because he was like, oh, that was fun.
That was definitely a show. Looks over. Like, you could recite this.
Yeah, he was like trying not to insult me. He was like, oh, that was cool. Yeah, and
I guess I'll see you around, pal.
Yeah, get out of my house. And I was like, no, trust me, it's super peak.
No, it's super peak. What are you talking about?
The Gorilla Grodd episode is the most peak, actually. But
the Gorilla Grodd episode.
I don't know what I was thinking.
What was going on?
Genuinely, and still a fun episode. One of the worst episodes of the show. I don't know why I would show that one. Anyway, Justice League, super peak.
Super peak. Is it the greatest superhero show for you?
In my opinion, yeah. I mean, and I think, honestly, like, even not bias aside, I think it would be up there. I think, like, on an objective level...
Yeah, do you want to give your top 3? It doesn't have to be objective, just your top 3.
My top 3, I would definitely go Justice League, and I'm including Unlimited in that. Daredevil.
Yeah.
And, Agent Carter.
I love her.
It's actually kind of tough. I'd go Invincible.
Invincible?
I'd say
okay.
Invincible.
You know what? I'll see your first 2 picks, Daredevil and Justice League. I'll agree.
Nice.
And then I will swap out Invincible for Peacemaker for me, I think.
Okay,
Just because I find it to be such an enjoyable time.
I respect it.
Thank you. You best.
With all that said, it's now time for...
Get Tom Cnews.
Now, I did not actually prepare a Tom Cruise fact already. I'm very sorry.
God, the factoid.
But we return to Consequence of Sound, consequence.net, Tom Cruise 63.
Consequence of Cruise.
63 random Tom Cruise facts to celebrate his 63rd birthday.
God.
The best website on the internet, maybe?
I need to bookmark this.
Well, that's a Scientology one, so we don't want to do that probably.
Is this all Scientology propaganda?
Yeah, is that what consequence.net is? Let's see. Cruise worked. I found a fact here. Cruise
worked. Anyways, you can find me on Real BHL Hudson.
Cruise worked with his on-screen idol Paul Newman on the film The Color of Money, and the two bonded over their love of racing. I'm so sorry. Might be the least interesting fact.
The dullest fact I have ever heard in my life. Not just on the Tom Cnews, but possibly ever.
I just saw the look in your eye. You're like, you better turn this shit around by the end of this sentence. It better say like, and they made sweet fucking love for 20 days straight.
You best say they spit in each other's mouths. Because holy shit.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, that's that. We gotta save them up. There's only 63, so.
And if some of them are like that,
anyway,
God,
good to
we're
know.
doomed.
Thanks.
Yeah, so great stuff, Paul Newman, I guess.
Congrats, Paul Newman, on your love of racing.
Such a non-fact.
Half of that fact is just they were in a movie. You're like, I knew that already. Anyway,
well,
that
was definitely
that was maybe the shortest Tom Cnews of all time. But dare I say
the best,
some of the most memorable.
For real.
That was the pod for this week. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. You can find the pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating, a nice review. And if you're there, we're on YouTube, the Poorly Planned Podcast. Please subscribe. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson. My second channel, BHL2.
Subscribe,
please. My Letterboxd, Real BHL Hudson. And my Instagram, BHL_Hudson. And you can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming, on Instagram at Fidalgard, and on Letterboxd as FTK_Thwilms.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Pay Pig.
Pay Pig.